template. This is template P, and this template can make cups, tumblers. You could stack it to make bottles. It's a very nice size, and it just makes a lot of variety of form. So I have the straight-sided version right now, and I'm going to put a bottom on it because this can be a base, and I'm going to take one of my biscuit cutters. I will dust some cornstarch on there, and that's just to take the top layer of moisture off so that the cookie cutter or biscuit cutter doesn't stick to the clay so much. Just pull that away, just like in the bowl. The same basic setup that I used in the first piece, the bowl, happens with all of the templates. You're just setting them all up in the same way with the beveled cut and then an overlap. So then we're going to score this. Now I'm adding a base to this, but then we'll also show how this can be used for multiple forms just by stacking. And run your finger around, get it clean. Set that on there. And you can paddle it, make sure it's nice and tight. And then again, you want to always soften your edges. And generally with something that has a flat bottom, you also want to go in and just gently run your thumb across the bottom so that it ever so gently goes down a bit, because things tend to dry and get a little bit bowed if it's a flat bottom. So now we have really just a straight-sided tumbler. And if you cleaned up the edge, that's a perfectly acceptable form if you like a straight-sided form. But I'm going to show you how to push this out. I'm going to be pushing this out just all together. I mean, all sort of pushed out evenly from top to bottom. I'm going to show you a couple different versions of how this can be used. So if you want to give this a little bit of volume, you just go in like we did before and use your fingers or the rib, whichever you like, and each time you just want to take and straighten out your rim. As you push out, the rim will want to kind of go inward, so to keep it true to size, you just push it back out if you don't want it to go inward. Let's just do one more round. And then we'll take this around. I'm very careful to make sure that all my edges are nice and clean, and I clean up my slip. In the video, I'm not going to spend a lot of time doing all that cleanup because I'd rather spend the time giving more information, but just know that I'm very careful to make sure that the craftsmanship is good. So that pushed out slightly makes a very nice tumbler form. Now you can take the template H and make a foot ring for this. So this template makes the foot ring. So you can just tilt this over and you'll see that just by adding that, if you slipped and scored that on, I'm not going to do that because I'm going to show you how that can also become a neck. That gives you a tumbler with a foot ring, which just elevates it a little bit, makes it just a little bit more of a refined form, I think, with the foot ring on it. You can also use that instead of making that be a tumbler with a foot ring. You can use this way. So there's no right side up. They're all just parts that you build with. So you can use the form this way, and you can take your 4-inch disc to make a base for that out of clay. I'm not going to do it because, again, I just want to show information. You know that you would slip and score that and add it on. And then this can become the neck of a vase. And if you wanted to add little handles, you would just cut out some wedges. This is a very quick handle. What this video is meant to accomplish, my hope is that it's just explaining the set of templates in a way that has you wanting to try to explore. So I want to give enough information so that you understand your options, but I want to make sure that there's a lot left over for you to fill in and make it your own. So what I'm doing here is I just cut a little wedge out, and I'm just going to, with my fingers, soften that. Same with this. We're just going to soften that. Do it on both sides. And this is anytime you want to make like a little side handle. So then this vase you can attach these little handles, and then that can become a vase form. If you want to ruffle the edges, remember everything is interchangeable. So you can attach those on. You can make a ruffled edge on this just like we did on the bowl. You can also now take these parts and stack them. So just say this was our tumbler with the base. And if you wanted to make a bottle form, you just start to stack. So that is 2 P templates and then the H template put together. I usually line my seams up because it's the way, for me, it's just a natural way to have things line up. Then you can take another template. I'm using template N, which is the smallest blue template, which makes a form like this, and you can start stacking to create an even larger form. You can have a fat neck like that. This would be the D template. Or you can use the long neck, which is the C template, to create an even longer neck. And remember, you can interchange these, so this could just as easily go like that, and then you can put this part on top, which is template E. So you just keep stacking forms and taking them apart to see where you'd like to be. So that's why I recommend that you make a lot of parts so that you can explore form just by using the parts as building blocks. So this is just a shorter version. So you get the idea of how you can make multiple forms just by alternating what parts you use on them.